Hey guys, I'm not entirely sure what this is, whether it'll be a full video or just a small story here and there, but I'm about 2 miles into today's hike. So far it's been all ascent. I think we're about 500 to 750 feet of climb so far, but it is about nearly 30 degrees centigrade. There is zero shade, the sun is beating down. I am a sweaty mess right now. I've just stopped for a little bit of water. I'm going to take it steady today. I'm not going to push myself too much because I do not do well in heat, as us Scots in general do not do well in heat. Plus I want to make sure I stay hydrated because I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere, and the last thing I want is heat stroke when I haven't got any shade or the ability to kind of recuperate. But yeah, if you take a look, nice little stream. Lots of streams so far on this walk, which has been really nice. I do love water, whether it be lakes or the sea. Let's try and, so you can't really see it, but there's a second lot of trees in the background. It's not those big trees closest to us, but the ones further back. That's where we started. Just behind that's the campground. So I'm kind of base camping it. We're just doing day hikes at the moment, but I'm going to wild camp later in the week. So yeah, let's see how this goes. The views from this spot are absolutely gorgeous, and just the sheer size of all the peaks surrounding you is just incredibly humbling. You can see some cows in the background, right in the back. And there's that stream again. Absolutely gorgeous. So far, it's been damn warm and tough, and we've got to get all the way up there, and the sun's beating down. There is zero shade. This is gonna suck. Well, I'm now in full anti-Daystar mode. I've got the hood up on my Rad Pulse hoodie, and I look like I'm about to rob a newsagent. But that sun is really damn hot. I started a bit late today. Because I started late, I'm now pretty much hitting the hardest part of the hike pretty much at midday. Not smart planning on my part, but it is what it is. Let's keep going. My calves are on fire. My calves are on fire. Not another human, as far as the eye can see. No cars, no sounds other than nature. Absolute bliss. So we've continued our climb. We got to this little step over, which was weird to find, and then apparently the path carries on along here, but it's not so much a path as a fall to your doom. Yay! So I've just got to the top of the peak I showed you before. You never guess what? Motherfucking full summit. Oh no, guys! Second full summit. Yeah, I agree, sheep. I agree. So we got to the top of that first cairn. The views were amazing, but it wasn't all that was there. When you get to the top of that one, there's a small plateau before you then climb a second cairn. View there, pretty damn good as well. Then you go on to climb the third cairn, It's probably got a name. I haven't looked at my map for a little while, but this is as high as it gets. There is no higher, and the view gets no better. So we start here, nice rocks to let us know. There's my trekking poles over there. So let us know we have reached the peak. There's technically a peak over there that might be higher, but yeah, this is pretty damn good. So yeah, I need to source some water because obviously it's a very warm day, and I have drunk about 1.5 litres in the first 3 miles or 3.5 miles of this. Well, it's probably actually about 4 miles of this hike. I have kind of a faint headache, but I didn't sleep great last night, and that's probably playing a role. So I'm going to drink a little bit more water, take a couple of paracetamol, and hope that on the way down we find a nice river or spring or stream, and we can filter some water, replenish and top up. But holy shit, we're coming towards, I'm just walking to the edge of this cliff to get a view, and my god, this is amazing. I'll show you guys in a second, but yeah, let's just, whoa, I nearly swore. All right, take a look at this, guys. How amazing is this view? Well worth the agony of climbing about 3,000 feet ascent over about 3 miles. I love that there's just sheep knocking around because this is nothing to them, but when you're a fat boy like me, that was challenging. But yeah. So yeah, that took me way longer than I'd like to admit. I had to stop pretty much every 50 to 100 yards, but yeah, we did it. That's the hardest part of the today's hike over with. We're going to take a short break and we make our way slowly down. We're going to be going past Wastwater along the shore a little bit later in the hike, and I'll be honest, in this heat there's no way I'm not getting in there. So yeah, that should be fun. So far so good. So that sun is relentless. I could see what I thought was a tarn far off in the distance as I was walking, very high up in the peaks at the moment. I thought it was a couple of tarns. I went past one that was close to me that was smaller. It turned out to be like an area of limestone. So I was wondering if I was seeing a mirage, but I've got to the second larger one, and it actually is a tarn. Thank hell for that. So I'm going to use my my knock bag and my soy mini. I'm going to camel up, drink as much water as I can take, fill up on 2 litres more water in my pack, and then head on, because yeah, it's needed. I've been sat by this tarn for about 30 minutes. The clouds have come over the sun and there's a little bit more of a breeze, and it's just absolutely completely welcome right now. I've used my soy mini with my CNOC bag to filter the water from the tarn. As you can see, it doesn't look too clear there, however the filtered version is looking pretty good. In fact, it tastes better than the water I brought with me from the campsite, which is crazy. I brought 2 litres of water with me initially. I've drunk both of those in the first sort of 5 miles. Whilst filtering water, I drank about another litre or so, and I've got another 2 litres going with me until the next part. The rest was also needed because just before I got to here, I went over on my ankle slightly. One of my OEX trekking poles. It's the lock on them isn't the greatest, and over time as you're using it they loosen slightly, and it just literally boom, and it like one whole section just drove right up. So I lost my footing and nearly did my ankle in completely. Luckily it didn't go properly. It was just a little bit sore for about 100 yards, and obviously I've been resting it up whilst sat here relaxing by this tarn. And it's feeling a lot better, which is reassuring, because I've got about another 5 miles or so to go. However, I do think it's a dragonfly. That was a really big dragonfly. I don't think that got caught on camera, but a massive dragonfly just flew by, which was kind of cool. So yeah, I've got about another 5 miles to go. There's a peak I pointed out earlier in the video. After I got to the last peak I was at, I said there's a peak in the background that looks like it was even higher. We're really close to it, and I don't know if the trail takes me up that way, but my brain is kind of like in for a penny, in for a pound. So it's about, I don't know, a few hundred meters away. The start of the ascent for it. Seeing how my ankle feels when I get walking, if it feels all right, I think I might try and head up that as well. I've got to imagine, given how great the views were earlier, the views from there have got to be spectacular. So yeah, so I'm gonna chill out for about another minute or two, have some jerky, have a protein flapjack, keep myself going, keep myself fueled up, and then yeah, we might be tackling the next peak and seeing how that feels. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So I committed. I went up the higher peak, which I think is called Winn Rigg, apparently, and literally can see everything until it's consumed by a cloud. You can just the other side of there see Wastwater as well, but we saw that earlier. But yeah, the views are amazing, worth the extra effort. Well, it's all downhill from here. Oh god, my knees. So there's there's a slight reprieve on the descent before it continues in a minute. I complained about my knees earlier, and don't get me wrong, they're still feeling it. If anyone says a descent is easier than an ascent, I'd say they're both crap. They just catch you in different ways. But something that's definitely helped is between my last time out hiking and now, I did a bit more research in how to use my trekking poles correctly. They're kind of a thing that I bought just because, well, that's what hikers and backpackers have, so I must buy one, or buy two. And I did research in how to use them properly, both when hiking and when doing things like descents, etc. And it is definitely making a difference. I definitely feel a lot safer, I feel like I'm putting a lot less pressure on my joints because I'm using them properly. I'm not always using them properly, it's still something I have to consciously correct sometimes, but I think with practice, I'm literally dripping sweat. I think with practice, you know, it's gonna help me out a lot in the long run, which hopefully means I can hike and backpack and camp for a lot longer, which is always the goal. Right, let's continue this descent then. So this descent starts getting really, really steep. If you look at the sides, either side of me, I'm not liking this trail, or this section of this trail at all. I'm a little bit nervous about this descent. So, if I die, this is probably where it's going to happen. And that would suck. Still making my way down this descent. There's like a little trickling stream that just kind of appears. I don't know if you can really see it. You can hopefully hear it. It just comes down, just starts out of nowhere. A couple of sheep pals. You alright guys? There's no need to be scared. But I'm not entirely sure where this trail goes. It's kind of surrounded by these really leafy ferns. So it makes it really difficult to see where the trail is. And as you can see by the trail, it's a lot of loose dirt and a lot of loose rocks. I've already fallen over once. Really not a fan. So, M. Night Shyamalan twist. He survives. Oh, sweat's getting in my eyes though. That descent was horrendous. I've gone a little bit off track trying to work out where I go next. I found somewhere that I could go, but it looked rubbish. So I've gone a bit further down, but it turns out the rubbish path is the path I need to be taking. So yeah, looks like I'm going through this gate now. So through that gate was a short trail with stinging nettles and brambles up to about here, either side, overgrown, not very well walked. I've got stinging nettle marks across all of my shins and hands, but then after that it opens up into this nice little wooded area, including this lovely stream that runs alongside the Wastwater. So this looks lovely. So yeah, this is your reward for getting through the brambles and nettles after going down that awful descent. You get a nice bit of shade, some woods, and this gorgeous stream. Almost makes it worth it. So, continued walking around along the stream, circling around Wastwater, and we've come to this gorgeous little stone bridge. Hopefully I don't fall over again. That's be that the 20th time. So yeah, nice little bridge. I like this. Good bit of shade. The paving could do some work. Man, how much would you love to just jump straight into that? Oof. So, finished the forest section of the trail. It was quite nice actually being in the forest and being sheltered from the sun. Nice change of scenery from the big open peaks that we spent the first part of the trail in. And they've just finished the forest section. And it comes out onto this sort of gravel bike path. So this is a proper National Trust trail with Wastwater right in front of you. We're going to be going along this trail all the way around the outside of Wastwater back to the campsite, which is at the far end. Maybe we'll stop and have a dip on the way. So still walking along this trail along the side of Wastwater, and now I'm starting to pass a few more people, and I don't know if this is just me or whether there are other people that backpack and hike that feel this way, but if you're quite self-conscious like myself, backpacks have the tendency to emphasize
now turn right
the worst features. Thank you, that's Kamut telling me where to go. The chest strap always emphasizes your moves. The hip belt always emphasizes your gut, and you don't think about it when you're, out in the open and carefree. But the second I start passing other hikers and other people, suddenly I'm very self-conscious again. I feel a bit embarrassed. Yeah, maybe it's just a wake-up call to myself to
follow this way for 1.76 miles.
Thank you. Maybe it's just a case of that maybe when I shed some base weight in future, maybe that base weight should be off myself, eh? I just passed a place called Wasdale Hall. That's a youth hostel apparently, but it looked better than 95% of houses. It looked gorgeous. Somewhere to stay in future. I would have filmed it a little bit, but there were people outside and I didn't want to be rude. But yeah, gorgeous old, obviously once a hall, it's now a youth hostel, and it's right on Wastwater. Absolutely gorgeous looking. I think if I'm ever planning on hiking, doing a through hike through through Cumbria, might be somewhere to consider if I don't want to use a tent one night. Looks good. So walking around Wastwater along that trail, came across this lovely little bench. Seemed a bit too idyllic not to stop, take in the views, enjoy just a little bit of peace and quiet, and actually getting to sit down properly, not on a rock. So yeah, my trusty Talon, Osprey Talon 33, which I'll be honest is a little bit too big. I use it for wild camping and backpacking trips, and decided I'd use it as a day pack, but I've got a few bits in there that I've literally just put in to pack it out, give it a bit more shape and rigidity, because otherwise it was going to be too big, too empty. So yeah, might have to look into a smaller pack for these sort of day hikes. But you know, we'll see how it goes. It's worked fine. Maybe don't need to spend might as well hood. Don't need to spend money if I don't need to, I guess. But man, us backpackers and campers, we love our gear. New chance to a new excuse to buy a new pack seems right up my street. So yeah, but I'm gonna have drink some water. I've got another litre after this, so we're all stocked up. Got some snacks, porridge to go, and some jerky, which I'm gonna get down my neck, keep me going. Today's day hike, I haven't really had a proper meal. I've just kind of been snacking along the way. So looking forward to a good meal when I get back to camp later. But the trail snacks are doing me good. The trail snacks have kept me going. So yeah, but check out this view. Pretty damn idyllic. Can you blame a guy for stopping? So once again, I spent a little bit too long resting. Just really enjoyed sitting on that bench. It was nice and peaceful, idyllic. Just good to relax. Continuing walking along this path that takes us around the edge of Wastwater. Lots of like little pebbly beaches, but there's a lot more members of the public. A lot of them using kayaks or sup boarding, which is something I'd love to do. And I need to make sure if I come back to the lakes, or when I come back to the lakes next, I've managed to purchase a sup board or a kayak. In the meantime, alas, I'll have to go without. And yeah, we're going to keep on this path for about 1 mile, and then it's road walking for the last couple of miles back to camp. It's road walking time. So for the next few miles, I'm basically going to be dodging VW campers, you lucky bastards. However, still walking along Wastwater, still looks gorgeous. So if I do end up accidentally damaging one of those gorgeous cars, gorgeous vans, at least I'll die in a nice surrounding. But yeah, it's not great to end on a road walk. I'm not a massive fan of road walks generally, but it is what it is. And at least it's not up and downhill, because I'm kind of sick of doing that today. In the Lake District, even the road walks are gorgeous. Seriously. So, you may not actually be able to hear me right now, but hopefully the background noise isn't too loud. I carried on walking down the road walk, thinking I'll get past all the public and the areas where everyone's parked, and then I'll find somewhere quiet and have a dip. But I walked too far, and then everything kind of got walled off. However, just a short distance from the entrance to the campsite, so right near the end of my trail, there is a little stream that you walk over the top of a bridge. And I found a way down to the stream. So, while I can't get myself completely soaked, I can soak my overly beaten up ankles and feet and enjoy that nice tan mark as well. Or maybe it's just dirt. But yeah, this feels pretty good and very much needed after today. I think I said earlier that the peak I was on was 3,000 feet. But what I meant to say was that the total ascent over the course of the whole trail was 3,000 feet. So the peaks that you saw me on today weren't necessarily 3,000 feet up, but the total amount of ascent that you do over the course of the trail was 3,000 feet. Definitely felt it. So yeah, this is where I'm going to leave today's adventure before my feet go completely numb. I'll dry them off, chuck my filthy trainers back on, and head the last half mile down the road to camp. But it's been a hell of a day. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, rock on, and as always, be excellent to each other. See you guys later.